Hi, Sophie. I'm Erin from threeifbyspace.net. It's so nice to see you.
Hi, Aaron. Nice to see you too. How are you?
Thanks. I'm just fine. You've had a really long day. I hope that you're holding up.
Thanks, Aaron. Do you know, it's very funny because we film for like 60 nowadays, so these feel like more of a walk in the park, but I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right. As we've seen the first three episodes, three, not four, three episodes of season the 7B. And it kind of struck me as I was watching that Bree is one of the longest running consistent characters. Um, and when you started portraying her, she was a teenager, and now you've grown into a wife and mother in perilous situations. What's been the biggest surprise to you about Bree, and what do you think has been the biggest thing she has learned or gotten out of the unusual situations she's been in?
It's a very interestingly phrased question, the fact that you ask about what's the biggest surprise, because obviously we had the books to lean on. And part of the reason of taking this show was that I saw the woman that Brianna was gonna become. So I kind of had the
Right.
blessing of hindsight when I took the role. So it gave me a really good opportunity to be able to map out how I was going to play Brianna. Hence why we sort of heightened that teenage petulance and angst that she had in the beginning. It really gave us somewhere to go when she becomes the person she is today, who's kind of been one of my favorites to play, which is why I love this season. But in terms of surprise, even though we had the books and even though I had the blessing of hindsight, it still surprises me how much she has this ability to bounce back. And I don't think that she just buries things. I think that she heals quite well. If I look at the whole Stephen Bonnet story and stuff that's happened to her, and now Rob Cameron taking her child, I think she was quite unforgiving with her mother in season two. And now I think that actually Brianna is a little bit more of a water under the bridge person, but she just wants everything to be okay. So even in season seven, part two, when she's confronted with Rob Cameron, I don't think she wants revenge. I don't think she has any sort of residual anger that will last past the situation. I think she just wants her child to be okay. And I think that that sort of maturity and growth is still a surprise to me to this day, and I'm very in awe of her for it.
Yeah. Did it feel odd to you to try to play all of that and the danger she was in and the danger she knows Roger is in and Jem is in, by yourself without the backup of your usual scene partners of, Roger and Jamie and Claire? Um, what did you bring to that to make that believable when you didn't really have someone else to play off of there?
I think what I brought to it was, and this is going to sound so so silly, but I have a dog, and I hate to compare dogs to children, but all that I could bring to it from my life was that there's been times where like something's happened to my dog, like he got bitten once. And I just remember seeing it and freaking out, but thinking like, I don't want to freak out the dog. I need to pretend I'm okay. And there was no one else for me to talk to. I live alone with the dog. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to keep a brave face, but fix the situation. And inside you're kind of in knots and you're freaking out. But externally, it was sort of that tying yourself together for the sake of another being. And I think that that was the thing that I found really quite beautiful to play this season, and that is something that I brought from my own life. Obviously, the stakes are very high with it being a child, but I think for Brianna to have nobody adult and nobody physically around to share these woes with, I think to have to just internalize that and put on a brave face for Mandy was something that I definitely brought in. And I think for Brianna, there was an extra layer to that too of hardship as well, because I think she used to just internalize things. And actually, one of the things that I'm really proud of her for is that she's really started to reach out and talk to her people and ask for help and share her fears and
Right.
her sort of insecurities and her weaknesses and her vulnerabilities. And so to kind of have to like be forced to resort back to having to just hold that in was something that was a shame for her. And so I definitely enjoyed playing that. And I think you see it in the scene with Mandy in the car where Brianna kind of
Yeah.
is crying, but it's almost
Yes.
like, no, everything's good, honey, we're gonna be fine. But the audience is let into that. And I think that that was a really beautiful moment it's an intimate moment between Brianna and the audience, seeing that no one else in the world understands apart from Brie and the people at home.
Right, absolutely. Animals and children definitely pick up on our emotions. So that was I think that was an apt um, moment to bring in with your fear for your dog. So absolutely. Well, they're telling me to wrap up. Thank you very much. I'm really excited about what's going to happen over the rest of the season and then next season too. So
Thanks, Erin. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy.
thank you. I'm sure I will. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate you. Bye.